It says, the big cheese. Kim fell in love with the treat when studying in Switzerland. Well, I showed you in the video where he did study and where he lived and where he went to the Church of the Black Cross, eh? He is Swiss. He looks a bit different from the outside, but I tell you, there he is Swiss. I told you in the Pharaoh show how they do it, you know. First there's a Swiss witch that goes and marry a Korean guy. Then the outcome will be like a half cheese, a half cheese Korean, and the father will be kicked out of Switzerland, as they do with foreigners. They can't see their children, you know. Or the woman goes back to Switzerland. The child is going to be raised in a Swiss way. Afterwards, if it's a girly child, if it's another sister of Isa's, she's going to find herself, you know, going to North or South Korea, whatever, or find herself another guy, Asian, North Korean, and they're going to make a child very quickly, and the outcome of the child is already quite North Korean looking, you know. But then the same thing happens, and the child is being raised with Swiss on Swiss cheese. Well, that's their error. They made an error here with the Swiss cheese, eh? Which is the inside. The inside is all Swiss cheese. And it got a lot of bleeding holes in it, you know, in their story. Like the cheese. So, from the inside, it's 100% Swiss. And the outside is already much more Asian looking, you know. So, this and three more generations doing it like this, the outcome will be this fatty here, but the inside it's totally Swiss, you know. And it's of course much easier to do these sort of things, you know, in America and in Africa. And here's the title. I put it in descriptions for you. It was half a year ago, not even half a year, yeah, half a year ago in 2014. Kim Jong-un loves cheese so much he's ballooned in size and walks with a limp. What do you know, eh? So it's probably not so good for the Asian genetics to eat too much Swiss cheese, but oh well. And here's another Swiss sleeper agent, a Swiss cheese eater, pretending to be a tough Russian. Well, I come back to that one later. And remember, he's from St. Petersburg, which is right next to the Baltic power sphere of the Teutonic Knights, just bordering to it. Eh? And this is where Mr. Putin is from. So, the whole story is full of holes, just like his Swiss cheese, eh? Another Swiss cheese eater. This is, let's say, this is the mistake they made in their perfect crime. Yeah? So, I can't stop wondering, you know, seeing this picture, if this smile here of the Swiss cheese geezer, if he's smiling after eating the cheese, you know, as it is ballooning him up, or is it more like before having, you know, an appetite for some cheese? I just wonder, you know. So, I'm going to show you some more footage of the place, exactly the place where Mr. Cheese Geezer used to walk around in Switzerland, at the Church of the Black Cross. Maybe he knows the priest I met and the other ones. He probably does, you know. They're all related to each other. And the castle of the Teutonic Knights. This is a Teutonic Korean. Don't be mistaken. This is where he lived, exactly there. He was right near to it, you know. And when there's somewhere, when there are Templars, there are Masons, you know. And they ruled the whole world. So that's why he was there. That's why he was living there. You know, Mr. Cheese Geezer.